Okay, I think we're live. Hi, guys. How's it going today? Welcome to another episode of Simple Business Stewardship. I had a plan today, but I'm going to deviate from that plan a little bit because I just got off a call with a client, and what she's going through is a perfect example of how getting financial clarity can really help you see the opportunities to increase your profits and to help you have a plan that you can execute instead of just sort of saying, well, I guess I'm going to try this other thing next. So I wanted to give you today a case study that you can learn from and start applying some of these principles in your business. And I want to let you know also that these are the things that I teach you in my course in Profit Launch Lab. So if you want to see your profit increase and not just the amount of work to do, but actually be able to work less and make more money, then this is the course for you. But yeah, let's dive into this case study. So, with this client, she offers some services and also some products. So, she's a web designer, and so she's got some templates and things that she sells online. And then she also works with clients on a retainer basis to do different like design pages, landing pages, uh, marketing, all of that jazz. So she's got the product side of her company and then the service side. And something that she's been wanting to do is increase her income because hello, who doesn't want to do that, right? We always want to be on the up and up with our income. And also, she wanted to move more toward selling her products, a little more turnkey, and doing less of the one on one project based client work. So she wanted to create more margin, more predictability. That's really what she was getting at. It wasn't so much the product itself, it was more so that she wanted a more turnkey solution to generating revenue in her business so that she could feel that she had more flexibility and was spending more time doing the creative stuff that she loved and working with people that she enjoyed working with and less time sort of just responding to client demands. And so we had to take a look at where her revenue was coming from, where she was spending her time, what her business expenses were, what could she do to increase that revenue without increasing her expenses. And so we came up with a plan. And it's been a few months because it takes time to dig into these things. It takes time to make a business budget. It takes time to clarify your goals. It takes time to figure out what's really going on beyond the surface of what you think it is that you want and what you're really trying to achieve. So by getting a couple layers deeper, we were able to identify that, hey, it's so much more than just wanting to sell products. It's wanting to create a certain rhythm as an entrepreneur where you feel like you have a lot more margin with how you spend your time and that you have more creative control over what you're doing as opposed to just sort of responding to client demands and not having any boundaries around what it looks like to have a client who's on retainer and all of these different things. So when we look at it through that financial lens, we can make sure that we're using the money strategically to both support her personal lifestyle, but then also look at what's possible. So if you're going to make a shift in your business with how you offer your services, then you want to look at the financial runway that you have. And so one of the things that we did is we created a cash flow forecast. And in order to do that, we've got to know what's your business budget? What are your operating expenses? How much do you need to take home so that you're not sacrificing your well-being? You're not saying, oh gosh, I don't know if I can pay my personal bills because of the business, right? So we have to have those things in place. We've got to know, all right, how much money is your company going to be bringing in the next week, in the next month, within the next 6 weeks, or within the next quarter, and make sure that cash flow wise, you're on a good path and that you have that financial margin to make those changes. So what we did is we listed out all of her different sources of revenue. So we looked at the projects that she's got currently. We looked at the retainer revenue that she's got coming in, and we looked at the different sales from her different products that are coming in. And so we did this at the end of November for December, and then we also made a projection for January based on the changes that she wants to make. And so we estimated a little bit on the higher side for expenses. And hers are pretty straightforward and simple because they're mostly software subscriptions. So we were able to get a really solid idea of what those expenses are going to be. And then we also looked at, all right, if you're going to move in this direction for January, then that means, and you're telling me that you're going to need an assistant. So you're going to make this hire. Okay. So how much are you going to be spending on this hire? And so we looked at how much she can afford to pay someone. We looked at what is the minimum amount in revenue from new retainer clients that she would need in order for hiring that assistant to make financial sense. So does it make sense operationally, and does it make sense financially? And what kind of a budget for paying someone are you looking at? And what we were able to figure out is, based on her pipeline of prospective retainer clients, she actually she should be able to hire someone in February. And that was really exciting and freeing for her, because she was looking at, she's saying, but I'm afraid, like, if I start with these new retainer prices and this new offering, then what if someone doesn't say yes, right? What if I get that one person who says no, or those two people who say no? And I said, well, but what if you get 3 or 4 who say yes? It might not be all 5, but you could probably get out there and find another client who would say yes to this. And she's like, oh, you're right, I totally could. And so we looked at what if you had 3 retainer clients to start with at this new price point? Would it make sense for you to hire that assistant? And we looked at what other expenses would you need to incur, and there really weren't any. So that was a great thing. And so we were able to identify that 3 is sort of that minimum threshold. So as long as she has those contracts ready to go and there's at least 3, then she can hire this assistant. And the great thing is that she can take 4 or 5 retainer clients and not have to increase any of those expenses. So we figured out, all right, minimum threshold for revenue, and then how much more could you take on before you would have to say, all right, I need another assistant who's part-time, or I need this person to go full-time, or what have you. And we were able to look at those profit margins and see how it would affect her business's bottom line, how it would affect the other goals that she has for her personal life and for the growth of her company. So we looked at how we could take some of the profit from working with those retainer clients and invest a portion of that profit into marketing her products, so that is running a little bit more automated. And that's, sort of that passive income. And I don't love the term passive income, because I don't think there's anything passive about making passive income, but because she's put in so much work up front, right, to design these products and to make them, and so much expertise and hard work has gone into it. But it is to the point where she can automate a lot of her sales process, so that she's putting in very minimal time and is able to make a lot more sales. So in that sense, it's passive. And if she's got the marketing budget to support increasing those sales, then that's something that's very scalable. And so she was telling me how she's been feeling stuck at her current level of revenue for a really long time. And it makes sense, because she didn't have the margin financially, or in terms of the time and the way she was offering her services, to be able to put any money into marketing, or to increase her prices and really clearly define her scope of services. So as we were just talking about this, she started to see this very clear path forward, and it gave her this actionable step-by-step. Okay, the first thing is I have to design what my retainer agreements are going to look like. I have to very clearly define what I am going to do, what I'm not going to do. I have to figure out how I'm going to price it, and I have to figure out how much of my own time I'm able to dedicate to each client, right? And then does that leave me with enough profit and with enough time and bandwidth to sell the products that I want to sell? And her answer was, wow, yeah, if I design my retainer package this way and I have 4 to 5 clients, then that's perfect because that helps me reach my basic financial goals and cover the expenses and have profit for retained earnings, as well as to have a healthy marketing budget for my products, right? So we can see how step by step this is, she knows where she needs to put her time and attention. So instead of really figuring out putting all of her time into organic marketing for her products, what she's going to do is focus on creating that retainer agreement, because that's where she has the most immediate opportunity. And she's able to do the things in her business that she wants to do, and reclaim that creative control back. And then she can scale the sales once she has that profit margin. So I'm really excited for her, because when we first started working together, she was barely getting by month to month. Her revenue was great. She was paying herself a full-time income, but every month it was like, well, how much money am I going to have in the bank account? How much money am I going to have in the bank account? What is my tax liability going to be? I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know how much I need to set aside. I don't know how much I can really pay myself. I don't know how to get out of this rut of just being month to month and start making forward progress toward developing the things in my business that I want to do. And I feel stuck because I feel like I have to just spend most of my time responding to people's demands and needs and going way beyond the scope of the work that I agreed to do just because I need the money. So she's completely been able to reverse that from just feeling like kind of financially desperate to having that power again to make those choices and to be intentional about the direction of her business, and to have an actionable plan of, okay, in December, here are the things I need to focus on. In January, we're going to look at again at our cash flow. Here are the things that we need to focus on. And I'll tell you, we made some what we thought were pretty conservative projections for December revenue. And there were a couple of areas where she's going, I think it's going to fall a little shorter than that. So we made some adjustments again, and this will happen from time to time. But it was okay because she had her budget. She still was able to pay herself. We made a couple of little adjustments. They weren't major. When you are looking at your cash flow week to week or a couple of times a month, as opposed to just overall for the year or for the quarter, you're able to make smaller adjustments in real time and stay on top of that cash flow. And so she's still on track with making the changes that she wants to make in her company. Her personal income hasn't been sacrificed. And we just wanted to get ahead of those potential shortfalls that she's anticipating. And we were able to do that because it wasn't like 3 months worth, right, of looking at a shortfall and then saying, well, shoot, now I'm in a really tough situation. So by being proactive about your cash flow and having clarity about the direction that you want to take your company and what your personal goals are, you can start to set the direction for your business and grow it in that way. And you can look at what your options are. And knowing what your options are is so empowering. And when that translates into actionable steps, you're going to be able to take those steps, and then once a week or once every other week, look at the cash flow. What's happening? Did things go as well as expected? Did things not go as well as expected? Do I need to make any changes? Are things going better than expected? Do I have additional profit that I can put toward that next strategic step in my business development? So I wanted to share this with you because it's such a great example of how getting financial clarity and getting an action plan in place is going to unlock that entrepreneurial freedom. There's so many things that different experts and consultants and people will tell us that we need to do in our business. And I have found that to be very overwhelming. I do not love when I see all these different tactics like, oh, you have to use this social media platform, or you have to send this kind of an email, or you need to use this exact software product, or else you're going to miss out, right? And I know that that's what marketers do. They appeal to people's fear and to that fear of missing out, and those pain points and everything. And they say, you need this particular product or this particular strategy, when usually it's just a tactic. But I want to help you see your business and the next steps to take in your business from a standpoint of, what are those foundational things that if you get those key foundational elements right, the rest of it falls into place. Like the answers become so clear. So I want to just peel back a few more layers, take your business strategy to its most foundational, basic level. And when you know how to manage your money as a business owner, and when you understand your cash flow and you have clarity on what your personal goals are, and when you have this new insight, this new capability of looking at your business through a financial lens, that is what empowers you to make strategic decisions. So I'm not all about telling you that you should be on this social media platform, or you should do this kind of marketing, or that you need to offer a certain kind of product or service because that's the trend or the fad. I'm here to help you get clarity for yourself and empower you to make those decisions, not to tell you or convince you that you should follow a certain business model or do a certain thing in your company, but that you need to have these basic foundational tools and a framework for understanding your business finances and understanding your profit, because that's the thing that's going to empower you to build the business that you love. Those are the skills that will empower you to bring home more of what you make, and to know where to put your energy and your effort and your resources into building the kind of business that you actually love and enjoy going to work every day. So that's what this is all about, you guys. That's why I created Profit Launch Lab. I had just never seen any other course like it. I've taken a lot of courses, so I know what makes a bad course and what makes a good course, because I've taken a lot of them. And I also used to be a teacher. And so one of the things that you're going to find in this course is that it is broken down into very manageable steps. It is step by step. You will not feel overwhelmed when you take it. You're going to watch a video, you're going to have some action items to do. And like today, for example, I have just recently recorded this course, and like module 2 is building a business budget. And I basically give it to you in 3 steps. You need to put these 3 things in your budget. You can use a simple spreadsheet. You don't need anything complicated. You don't have to buy anything extra. And here's the clarity it's going to give you. I teach you how to use your budget to make strategic decisions, to find more profit that may be immediately available, that you can then redirect those resources, that money, to other things that might be higher on your priority list. And so I can show you how to create healthy financial targets that line up with your personal goals, with the kind of business that you want to have, and that you're going to be really proud of having and owning and running. And if you have a revenue goal, here's how to evaluate that goal and how to make those changes to get to that next level. But it's really all about creating alignment between your personal goals, your values, and then making the money simply support those things so that you're moving in the right direction, and that you can have confidence knowing that you're focused on the right things in your company. Just like my client is focused on defining that retainer package. And then next month, she's going to be writing out a description for the assistant position and working on hiring an assistant. And she's got a goal for how many retainer clients she wants to have a contract with starting February 1. So we're getting all those pieces in place. And then February or March, figuring out what that marketing budget and that marketing strategy for her product is going to look like. And so she sees that clear path forward to really essentially doubling her revenue. And she's doing it in a way that is not requiring her to double the amount of time she's working or to double her expenses. And that is key. Those are the keys to profitability, because we don't just want to make more money overall. We actually want to create more margin and more profitability as you grow. So a lot of businesses will start off fairly profitable because they're being scrappy, they're being really intentional about their expenses. Because when you don't make a lot of money, you really feel it, like every expense you're evaluating. But as you grow, it's easy to get away from that. It's easy to just chalk it up to the cost of doing business and to look at the bank account number and to say, well, my revenue is growing, so this is just a business expense. And then before you know it, you're not actually running a profitable business. You're just running a big business that makes a lot of revenue, but also has a lot of expenses. And then that's where you start to feel really stressed. You start to feel the weight of being financially disorganized because you're still running month to month. You're just not making any more profit than you used to be making. You just have a lot more on your plate. And so the sooner you can get control of your business finances, the sooner you can create organized systems for managing your cash flow, and the sooner you can learn to see your business through that financial lens, you're going to see that immediately you're going to be able to be more profitable. But then as you grow, you're going to have those tools to grow your business profitably and honestly save yourself or make hundreds of thousands of dollars more than if you waited until you were a larger company and then tried to, solve a problem, try to solve a big financial problem and a big financial mess. So the smaller your company is, the more of an advantage that you can take to get those financial fundamentals in place. But also, if you're like, hey, Lauren, I'm already there. I'm already a mess. I'm already super disorganized. I'm already feeling, the pain and that stress. And I thought that I would have financial freedom by now because I am a six-figure business and I do take home a full-time income. But man, I'm just feeling more and more stressed out because I don't have control over my finances. Then this is the course for you as well. So you don't have to, whether you're just starting out or you're already, in the low six figures for your company. This course will help you kind of untangle all of that, cut through all of the confusion, and just give you a really simple path forward that you can follow. So I'll put the link to the course in the comments section, and it is on pre-sale today and tomorrow, and then and that's $150 off, and you get a one-on-one bonus session with me. That's going to be going away after tomorrow. Also, I do have a 30-day money-back guarantee on it. I'm really confident. This course, I wish this is the course I wish I had when I started my business. And so I would have paid myself so much sooner. I would have wasted way less money. I would have had a lot more confidence about knowing what to invest in my business and what not to. I would have been way less stressed about managing taxes and all the confusion that can surround that. So this is my goal for this course, is for it to really empower you and to make you more profitable and to make you a much more confident steward of your money. So if that sounds good to you, then I would really encourage you to sign up before the end of day tomorrow, because that $150 pre-sale discount is going away, as well as the bonus one-on-one session with me. And because you get a 30-day money-back guarantee on it, there's literally no risk. So I'm really confident that it's going to be great and you're going to love it, which is why I feel totally great about offering you the guarantee. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions about it. I'm happy to answer. If you're not sure if the course is right for you, if you are thinking, hey, I really need someone to work one-on-one with me, to be my fractional CFO or to be my coach and to guide me through what to do. Courses are great. but maybe you're going, hey, I think I have kind of a unique situation that needs more individualized, personalized solutions. And I just really need a coach to walk me through one on one. Reach out. We can definitely talk about that. Hi, Chris. Oh gosh, Chris, you didn't know I was live because I didn't like post it ahead of time because I broke like the cardinal rule of live streaming and I didn't announce it ahead of time. So that's why. Yeah. So, but I didn't want to like not show up today. So I'm still here, still showing up. But yes, Chris, you can slap me on the wrist. I need to get better about advertising when I'm going to be going live. So anyway, thanks for showing up today though. And Chris actually made a bonus video. It's really good. Like if I had had this bonus video, my live streams would be so much better. Now I'm like trying to catch up, trying to make my live streams good. But Chris knows what goes into a really good live stream. And so he made a bonus video that is in a Profit Launch Lab. And so if you are wanting to market yourself through live stream, it's really cost effective. It doesn't take a lot, but it helps a lot when you have an expert like Chris telling you, make sure you do these things. It'll be a lot more professional. You'll get a lot more engagement. A pop-up live. Yes, this is a pop-up live. So thank you, Chris, for that. I appreciate that. Anyway, yeah, link I will put in the comments. And yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to answer those for you. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your day. Merry Christmas. And I'll see you after Christmas. So have a good